What's up, everyone? So, as always, I'm not here to poke fun at anybody. I think everybody knows what's happening right now. It's all over YouTube world. BitConnect has finally closed its doors. You know, people are always trying to convince me that BitConnect was a legitimate business, despite me at least putting out my efforts to tell people that BitConnect isn't real. It was a Ponzi from the very beginning, with all the excellent marketing of throwing out money, YouTubers giving out money. Today, everybody got served, right? Obviously, always the top earns the most. The top would always be smart enough to cash out, and there's no dumping. It's just pure, the company just completely closes. And right now there are people who are obviously suffering, people who actually mortgage their homes to buy loans of whatever this Ponzi is. And I did try my best, guys, but you know what, sometimes, because if you are too bent that this is real, I mean, if it makes you money, right? If it makes you money for some time, it's been helping you pay the bills. I can't complain. All right, no one can complain, guys. You are definitely gonna be absorbed into it as if like it's the fountain of wealth. Okay, right now let's not really poke too much fun into it. There are people who are genuinely suffering. I think there are people who are like now they're trying their best to really pull themselves out of this situation. So here at CG, we're here to help. We're here to come up with a game plan. We're here to address the markets, and of course, hopefully you can find the strength to rebuild your life. Right now, I just want to say that the market isn't your mother, right, who will wait for you to grow up. So if you are really someone who is trying to rebuild everything, crying will not help. All right, right now there is a market opportunity, and I would like to bring your attention to the current market opportunity, which is literally a 40% discount from the top. Okay, we were at 800 billion just last week or 2 weeks ago. Right now you have a market cap of about 535 billion. Okay, if you are someone who is very new to this space, right now it's the time to recreate that portfolio, or at least create a portfolio from scratch and rebuild it. And hopefully that when the regulations pass, or at least all the FUD that has been happening from Korea and China will blow over, right? Whatever that Warren Buffett may say, I respect Warren Buffett a lot. He's not like the others who are condemning cryptocurrencies. He's just not aware of what it is, and at the same time also, since he does not know what it is, he will not say that he's going to be invested in it. I think I respect him for that. It's alright to not know, and at least he's not saying, or at least condemning it, just like how Ray Dalio has condemned it and Jamie Dimon has condemned it. It's a bit dumb to condemn something when you don't know what it is. Like, for example, when it comes to BitConnect, I already saw it, because in the first place, I have joined programs like this in the past, guys. When I joined these programs in the past, they don't last very long. It's just a matter of time. Alright, and being that the YouTubers these days, they are very influential in the space, and influence is a very important thing. If you use your influence in a wrong manner, definitely people who trust you, who find that you're a great guy, you're someone who jokes about it, naturally you will get hurt, right? So sometimes it's about having your own personal discernment, right? And also at the same time, it's just try to understand one thing, guys. If something just keeps maintaining, it doesn't go up, it doesn't go down, it just gives you money every day, come on man, where is the common sense in that? Right? So I hope that people really learn from BitConnect. There is Monero Connect now. Someone even reached out to me on email asking me whether they want me to promote Monero Connect. I gave them the finger literally in the email. You know, and there's Ripple Connect. Everything seems to be popping out from all over the place. Try to understand one thing, guys. This space has a long way to go in terms of infrastructure. There are proper partnerships. Follow the fundamentals, guys. Stop thinking about easy money. There's no such thing as easy money, please. All right, here at CG, whenever we work our asses off because we're here educating the people. All right, anyone who is in our premium chat, anyone who is in our legacy chat, literally knows that we are here day in, day out, supporting the community, putting out articles for people to read. Not only do we write our own articles, but we also share articles from other sources that we feel are credible. And also we always talk about the YouTubers that have the proper influence, that are teaching the right things. That is what you guys are supposed to follow, not the pipe dreams, not the castles in the sky, right? That's not how it works. You know, and that is what has happened today, right? If you see a cryptocurrency that loses 90% of its value overnight, what does that mean, right? If it was really that rock solid, it would not have lost 90% of its value overnight because it closed down. And right now, whatever that is just remaining will remain to trade on the market because majority of the shareholders have already dumped on everyone else already. That's why it can drop 90%, right? Because the moment that news hit, is just a matter of exit, right? And when you have your own exchange, means that you are able to be the market maker, you are able to exit. And these people, I'm not sure what's going to happen to these people, you know? When you run I understand that when you run a Ponzi in America, I mean, whether they are registered in America, I'm not even sure. But if that is going to happen, you know, I hope that they can be brought to justice. In most cases, they don't. Look, honestly, all the YouTubers that have been promoting BitConnect, Crypto Chick, you know, the one with the big tits, right? Saying that, you know, you gotta do your research, DYOR and all, you know, promoting BitConnect. You have Trevon James, you have Ryan Hildreth buying a Lamborghini, Craig Grant, obviously, you know. These people had one of the most influential channels and they misused that influence to obviously sell the BitConnect program. Of all things, man, with the influence you could build things, you could share, you could create wealth for other people, but you created wealth in the wrong way. And yeah, you just have to bear the consequences, man. Especially if you're a YouTuber. These days, YouTubers are the go-to source, especially for this space, because everything else seems to be old school and traditional. This time around, this is what's happening. So never mind, let's cut the crap. Let's look into building up the whole portfolio again. So if you're someone new and you're trying to re-establish yourself, right, in this space, okay, the most important thing is try to understand that the market has kind of lost around 30 to 40% of its market value. I think in some cryptocurrencies we've lost about 30 to 40%. Now let's identify and rebuild. Okay, let's try to identify and rebuild everything. Okay, so based on what we see here right now, okay, we have Bitcoin, which is currently at $11,500 US. So if I look at the charts, right, you will see a very similar pattern in practically all the major infrastructural coins, which is the smart contract platforms, and also in the decentralized exchanges. Actually, most of the charts, they look similar. So I'm gonna be just going through the various mainstream cryptocurrencies first, followed by the platforms, followed by the decentralized exchanges, which is the theme for this year for CG, right? Because if you watch my CG picks video, I was very precise about what the picks were. I wasn't doing a video just for the sake of doing a video. I was doing the video to give you an idea of how you should structure your basic portfolio from the very get-go. It doesn't have to be the CG picks. You can always do something else, but find something similar. All right. Okay, so let's go into the Bitcoin prices and Ethereum prices first. Yes, you can also pick Litecoin as well, but I think being that everyone would love to buy altcoins eventually, Bitcoin and Ethereum would be the go-to cryptocurrency from the very beginning as of today. Let's say if you just started your Gemini account, you just got it verified, you want to use your GDEX or whatever, whichever country you are in the world where you're going to be able to get fiat into the exchange, Bitcoin and Ethereum or Litecoin are the go-to. But if you're talking about eventually buying into altcoins, I would strongly suggest that you buy into Bitcoin and Ethereum first. Okay, so Bitcoin at the moment has had a very strong run. Bitcoin has a very strong run at the moment. Okay, but because of the current correction, okay, we currently saw, like, from the height of 20,000. Obviously, let's discount 20,000. Let's look at anywhere from 14,000 to 13,000. Okay, so that was the range for some time. Okay, 13,000 to 14,000 was the range that people would have picked up Bitcoin. But now you're having anywhere close to 10,000. So you can ease in your position gradually. You don't have to go all in at this price. I would not recommend it either. But you need to get some, being that 13 to 14,000 still is a correction, right? It's still a discount. So you still have to probably get some of your money, your initial money in. And as you gradually get your paycheck, allocate a small expendable portion. That means a portion that you're willing to invest or risk. Right? Because risk is important. Without risk, there's no ROI, right? You need to put in some of that money that can help you to grow, because your bank account is not going to help you out. Most financial instruments are giving you anywhere from 3 to maybe even 4% per annum. It's not going to be fantastic. Crypto seems to be one of the best growth, especially for last year, coming into this year as well. So until regulations are sound, are firm, nothing's going to happen. Okay, so you have to start planning this in this manner. So okay, so Bitcoin at the moment, if you look at it, people are saying 8, 9, 10,000. Sure, you can queue at all these levels, but if you don't get some of your money in and you miss the whole rebound, okay, you're gonna be probably FOMOing and sitting at the sidelines. So don't put yourself in that kind of situation. Make sure that you're gonna be able to just load up your account with Bitcoin first. All right, Bitcoin first, and then after that we can look at Ethereum. So I've given the levels 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 8, 9, 10, 11. Basically 8, 9, 10, 11. Just go for 8K, 9K, 10K, 11K. Keep it simple for yourself, right? No need to look into charts or whatnot. Just focus on the strategy. So after you have purchased your Bitcoin, do you want to purchase some Ethereum? Sure. Ethereum is basically a smart contract platform that was created by Vitalik and his team, right? The founding members were also even Charles Hoskinson, who is leading Cardano. I think there are still a lot of great things that are going to be coming out from Ethereum this year, like Plasma, Determining, Casper. All right, so Ethereum was the very first smart contract platform that received a lot of funding and partnerships, because you were able to build decentralized applications on top of this platform. That was the very first. Now they're having a lot of scalability issues. Also, there are a lot of security issues. We had the DAO hack, we had the parity hack. So Vitalik and team are obviously trying very hard to counter and combat this, and hopefully they are able to scale efficiently and effectively. So with that being said, that was a short, brief introduction about Ethereum. Okay, so if you look at the current US, it's already starting to recover, guys. Okay, it was sub. Looking at the charts, it was sub 1,000. Okay, it's sub 1,000. This is definitely a very strong bounce. If you look at the chart now, it's a very strong bounce. You can clearly see that people are loving buying it at this price. These are obviously either bought orders or just the pure masses just picking it up. Okay, so $1,000 is one of the sweet spots. I'm hopeful that most of my viewers who know my stand have already purchased below sub 1,000. I hope they didn't panic. They didn't call Ethereum at $500 and whatnot. That's very unlikely. But I think 800, 900 to 1,000 is perfect. So 800, 900, 1000 is the perfect price to kind of re-enter and ladder your buy-ins. Now, CG has this term where we say ladder your buy-ins or ladder your sells. Laddering your buy-ins means that you're not going to go all in on one particular price point. You're going to gradually add onto your position, so that's called laddering your buy-ins. Now, for after you have done your Ethereum, okay, or you have collected enough Ethereum, that also helps you to participate in ICOs that are going to be coming out. So it kind of serves another dual purpose as well, because these days a lot of ICOs actually accept Ethereum compared to Bitcoin. So there's Ethereum that you can pick up at the moment, and Ethereum is great for altcoin trading as well. It's also an alternative, and it's just a matter of time that most of the whole market will start to recover, and it will, guys. Okay, you just have to give it some time. It may not be now, it may not be in the next 2 weeks, all right? It may be after Chinese New Year. That's probably in March. So you have to give it some time. I don't see the market really recovering, like, you know, going full force and into a bull run at the moment. I think it's very, very soft. Having news from China, you know, I mean, we have people in China who are very connected, you know, to the miners and whatnot, and also for the fact that the exchanges are deemed as MLM. Like, wow, you know, how are you gonna be calling the exchanges an MLM? It's very, you know, honestly, I'm not even sure why are the exchanges even deemed as an MLM. There's no MLM component in most of the exchanges. But you know what? In the Chinese government, you know, are very, very harsh when it comes to these kind of things. You know, it may seem like it's very unreasonable, but that's just the way they do things. There's always a reason, because they want to have capital control. They want to also have oversight of all the funds that are moving in and out of crypto. It's just the way it is, right? I mean, I've been talking about it like, you know, God knows how long. You know, I was always saying it, and then there were people who were saying, oh, you know, Ryan, you're spreading FUD. You know, you shouldn't be spreading FUD. To the guy who was always commenting that, go and look back at the video, and I hope that you go and delete the comment because you look quite stupid, okay? So now next, we have Quantum. Quantum has been holding up very, very well from a Satoshi point of view, right? In this whole market, obviously when Bitcoin loses its US dollar value, so will all the altcoins. So Quantum, same old, same old. It was at below 0.003 Satoshis, which is of course below, which is around the 300,000 Satoshi mark. If you have been dollar cost averaging Quantum, obviously Quantum has very steady partnerships, you know, establishing itself in the community. And of course, Patrick Dai was someone who has always been a corporate strategist for the company, and at the same time, he is one of the top 20 go-to people in the blockchain space in China in the early years. So he's a pioneer in the space, guys. So he knows what he's doing. The team has been forming the x86, which will probably come out maybe end of the year. There are plenty of excellent cryptocurrencies, or at least platforms that are being built on it. Mediblock, you have Robin8, you have Qpao, you have Ink, you have Space Chain, you have you have Space Chain, Bodhi. All these platforms are being built on the quantum blockchain. Okay, I think there are many more that is up and coming. I'm not very sure about all the projects, but I know that there are more than probably 17 to 20 decentralized applications. All even have solid businesses before they even considered building on the quantum blockchain. Now you have to ask yourself, if you already have a solid base of clients and then you decide to build on quantum, right? That means these people know that Quantum's tech is superior. Why didn't they pick Ethereum, right? Why didn't they pick Ethereum? Ethereum's library is just so huge, it's so easy to use. But I think ultimately it's about the support, it's about the scalability, and also how can you get me to the next level from a strategic partnership point of view. These are considerations as well. Okay, so the next one is Icon. I think Icon has been of late, you know, taking shape. Honestly, Icon is still in a very, very infant stage in terms of, yes, they do have partnerships, yes, they do have a great team, but I have yet to see the footprints from an international standpoint or from a regional standpoint, which is okay because Quantum started out that way as well, right? I know that a lot of people who invested in the ICO, especially people like Ian Bellina, you know, and of course, you know, my favorite guy, Peter Saddington, you know, of Bite-Size Bitcoin and Decentralized TV, he has a dollar cost averaging every Friday where he will buy, I think, Icon and Cardano and IOTA, something like that. So, you know, if you're following his plan, great. I think today is Thursday, tomorrow is Friday. You know, you can follow that plan. Why Friday? Because tentatively, from a psychological market standpoint, Friday is the day to always dollar cost average and buy into crypto. So that's the plan. So looking at this chart, right, being that ICX is around the $5 region, I would say, okay, look, from a standpoint where this whole space has zero revenue, I cannot say cheap or whatnot. But I would say from a price point standpoint, it seems to be holding up pretty well at this price. So if you're someone who is interested in Icon, you know, you like the project, you like the team, you like the influencers who have been promoting it, you can consider Icon as well. You know, in terms of price, it does get you that much more tokens, but I would sincerely hope that they have an up and coming wallet already. At the same time, also once the mainnet is up, I heard that it's up on the 22nd of this month, which is fantastic. The wallet should be following not too long later, and I assume that it should be on a POS, proof of stake kind of consensus algorithm where you can stake your coins and earn more Icon and create more blocks. All right. That being said, yes, you can look at this. Currently, I mean, it looks very supported, guys. If you look at the charts to Quantum, it's almost similar, right? This is on Binance. It doesn't have much price history, but just look at the past few days. You look at Icon as well, also kind of similar. And of course, we have Cardano. Now, Cardano has much hype, right? It went up from, it really ramped up to 31 billion in a very, very short span of time. A lot of you knew that I kind of started a 5K account. I really grew that 5K account to 100K, and from 100K, it actually went until 234K in a very short span of time. I didn't really have to show much of it because I felt that, wow, I don't want to create that wrong impression where making money in this space is just so quick. I was very, very shocked that taking from a 5K Binance account, because I created the Binance account because I wanted to slowly grow and allow people to at least show them that, hey, you know, with a 5K account, you can do so much. But because it was so ridiculous in December, and I had just picked from one crypto to another quite tactically, I went from Quantstamp to Cardano, from Cardano to Kyber Network, a little bit into OMG, and then after that I cashed out everything. And within a span of maybe 1 to 1.5 months or so, it became 234K. I didn't want to create that impression that that money is easy. And money isn't easy, man. And honestly, I'm someone who is an investor. I wasn't trading aggressively. I just felt certain things, and people who were watching my stream knew that, you know, I moved in that manner. So it was from Quantstamp to Cardano. After that, it went to Kyber Network, and then from Kyber Network to KNC. So all this was basically the movement that kind of brought my 5K to 234K. It was 5K to 20K at first. Then from 20K, it became like 100K. 100K, it became like 34K. I was very, very shocked, guys. So it's 2 months. That's very life-changing money. And of course, ever since then, I did cash out, right? Because I made the call that to cash out your BTC to US dollar tether or into cash, because I just felt that the market was very soft. And true enough, this whole shit happened, right? The whole market tanked even before Chinese New Year. I thought that at least in February it would like kind of tank there. I hope that there's some kind of recovery so that people can kind of rebalance their portfolios and go into the holiday season a little bit more confidently, because no one likes to have this kind of emotional stress. So we came up with the 33, 33, 33. So the 33, 33, 33, 33, 33 is 33% in cash, 33% in Bitcoin or Ethereum, and 33% into altcoins. So the premium group actually had this strategy. So we save those we could save, and we save those who listen, right? Because you can always have an alternative opinion. You can be someone who has a higher risk profile, and when you have a higher risk profile, naturally you wouldn't want to go into 33% in cash, because if you strongly believe that it's the beginning of the year, you are someone who is aggressive. Why do you want to have 33% in cash? Well, my reasoning was, I have already invested so much in this market. I didn't want to have everything sitting in altcoins. I wanted to have something that was a little bit more stable. So I actually said, you know what, although I didn't catch the peak of Bitcoin, I did sell some Bitcoins at 19,000 US dollars, but I didn't sell a lot of it. And majority of it was around maybe 14 to 16,000. So when I cashed out, I went into cash. I just didn't know. I just felt something, right? But I didn't know when. And so when this happened, I was like, hey, it was the right move. I did sound out to the premium group, I sounded out to legacy group, and those who actually listen are having this capital that is sitting in the account right now that they can actually rebuy. So whatever they decide to rebuy is just based on what is their strategy. So back to the talk. So those who are interested in Cardano, same thing, it seems to be sustaining at the current price point. Let's see now. The current price point of 5,470 satoshis, right? Don't forget they have a very high coin supply, and also they have a very high market cap. So it doesn't mean just because they are trading below 60-70 cents, right? It means that they are cheap. By all means, they are not cheap, okay? In terms of a Daedalus wallet, it's already up and running. They do have a mainnet, but I think I've yet to see the same kind of partnerships, the same kind of infrastructure, the dApps that are being developed on Cardano. Same thing, I would like to see that on Icon as well, hopefully. So these two are seemingly the up and coming the most hyped up for now. But you know what? I don't want to say hype all the time, because that's not the right word to associate, because I'm sure Charles Hoskinson has a plan. I'm sure that Charles Hoskinson will lead the team and really build this Gen 3 blockchain to the next level. So all the best to you this year, Charles and team. Okay. Next, we have the exchanges. So decentralized exchanges are seemingly the go-to. Now, I want to also give some credit to Komodo as well. Okay, let me pull out Komodo's chart. I think Satinder Gariwal has been doing an excellent job on trying to make the barter DEX to do very well. Let me give you some levels for Komodo as well. Okay. I think Komodo needs a spot in this. The reason why I find it so challenging to kind of talk about Komodo is it's not challenging because they are actually a smart contract platform. They are dual. So they have the Komodo blockchain that also has asset chains that you can build upon, and also they have a barter DEX, right? The barter DEX is up and running. I think there's also an asset management platform as well. So this barter DEX is already up and running. That meaning that it's a decentralized exchange, and you do not have to commit your coins like a centralized exchange, meaning that you don't have to leave your coins on the exchange. You are worried about it. Immediately there's a swap function, but they are also looking for liquidity or reserve managers that are able to provide the coins, because if you create the platform but you don't have the coins, people can't buy anything. So gradually I hope to see that take shape. Wishing Komodo team all the best, especially to CA777. I miss you guys. You know, the interview that, if you haven't caught the interview with Crypto Grinders and Komodo, go and catch it in my playlist of my interviews. That was a very, very good interview. It will give you more insight to how Komodo functions as well, and also he does speak quite extensively about the barter DEX. All right. So anyway, from a price point, let's look at the 4 hours for Komodo. Yes, they are back to the current support level before the whole spike. From a Satoshi perspective, it's okay. You can ladder your buy-ins, right? Don't get too aggressive, all right? Because right now, if you get too aggressive, you may see more downside. Yes, I've already said it. You may see more downside, so be very watchful. Currently, honestly, if I were not to be too conservative, I'm okay to enter at all these price points, because you have seen the whole run up. If you look at the candles, it's already run up so much, but you look at the correction, it's practically back to where it was. It's practically back to where it was in most cases. You talk about Quantum, you talk about ICX, you talk about Cardano. Don't talk about ICO, guys. You missed the ICO, you missed the ICO. If you keep thinking about ICO, those who got rich during the ICO, you're never going to get into this market, so don't bother, right? talk about going forward. How are you going to move forward? So Komodo, if you're pretty much interested in Komodo, by the way, it's 51,400 satoshis, not 5,140. It's 51,400 satoshis. So if you look at it from a satoshi perspective, it's a deal. It's pretty attractive. From a US dollar perspective, I'm sure it took a hit as well, because a lot of that US dollar value has exited Bitcoin. Okay, so Komodo, props to you, right? So I want to move this here to the platforms. Okay, so we have the rundown first, just a recap for those who just joined the stream. Enter using fresh money, Bitcoin or Ethereum, your choice of poison, and then from then you can decide on whether or not you would like to create a portfolio of infrastructurally sound coins like Quantum, ICX, Komodo, or Cardano. These are the coins that you can consider. Now, the decentralized exchanges, which is Kyber Network, Loopring, and BNB, right? Of course, there is KuCoin as well, but KuCoin is, I think, a little bit younger. Volume isn't there yet, so I would really kind of avoid KuCoin for the moment. But once volume starts to pick up in KuCoin, then of course we can probably consider KuCoin, but I'm not into KuCoin anyway. So right now, I'm into Kyber Network. Kyber Network has been holding, it did not hold the 30,000 Satoshi mark, okay? But Kyber Network was something that I spoke of, a project that I spoke of that is also like kind of the trilogy in the Ethereum ecosystem, where they have Ethereum, OMG, and Kyber Network. Kyber Network is going to help facilitate this whole ecosystem by having an exchange. OMG is also actually going to have an exchange as well. So I assume there's going to be some partnership and integration. OMG, on the other hand, is more of a payment gateway, payment systems platform. Okay, that's how they're going to position themselves. They existingly have the Omise parent company, which already functions as a payment channel, payment gateway for its customers in Thailand and Japan, right? And I'm not sure where other partnerships and presence they have, but I think for the largest memberships and partnerships and users are Thailand and in Japan. Okay, so that's the parent company Omise without the Go. Now Omise Go is their blockchain company and blockchain project that's situated in Singapore. I've met Vansa before. Yeah, looking forward to maybe see the CEO Jun Hasagawa, you know, and the rest of the team. All right. Now, so we have Kyber Network. Kyber Network seems to be holding up also pretty well, right? All the coins that CG has picked has been solid so far, right? We don't get you guys to buy stuff at the top. We love getting you guys in when it's boring, it's tanked, you know, and then after that getting you accumulating those solid cryptocurrencies into your portfolio over and over and over again. Okay, so that's the plan, right? When it's boring, when there's zero hype, I ain't gonna talk about it, right? So this is how it works. When you are in this kind of fundamentally sound coins, your coin is not gonna tank 90%. Okay, let's just be very, very direct. Okay, that is a little bit of a stab into most people, but I hope people learn, because when you don't burn, you usually don't learn. Okay, now Loopring, same old, right? There was this huge spike, and then after that we had this bull run, but now it has come back. So I am going to be looking into Loopring. Loopring is, I think they are also, Quantum and Neo are actually, I think, advisors, because Da Hongfei is actually one of the board of advisors for Loopring, and Loopring is also a decentralized exchange. So currently now I'm having my ever friendly Mike to write an article about Loopring, Kyber Network, and possibly maybe the BANDAGES as well. So we have all this, oh, and also I think there's Robinhood. We also interviewed Robinhood not too long ago, but I think Robinhood doesn't have enough liquidity at the moment, so I will leave Robinhood out. But Robinhood's cryptocurrency has been doing very well in terms of price lately, because like I said, it's all about a momentum. People who didn't see Kyber Network tend to move to Loopring. Those who didn't see Loopring tend to go into maybe cost exchange or something like that. But let's not be too random, guys. We have to make sure that we are invested in exchanges that at least have some kind of partnership, strategic partnership. For example, Kyber Network is not out yet, but from a strategic standpoint, they are very close to Vitalik. Now, why is that so? Because Lu Loi and Vitalik actually went to school together. They wrote a paper together. So I think from a standpoint, there's a relationship that we don't see or we don't know about. So I was able to kind of hear that relationship, or how I found out about that relationship was when I listened to Ian Bellina's interview with Lou Loy, right? So it got me thinking, you know, if you have someone like Vitalik, who is successful in raising funds through an ICO for the Ethereum platform, and I used to go to school with this guy, I definitely would want to give him a call, and because I have a brilliant idea as well, right? And we wrote a paper together. You know what? Yeah, and by the way, Lou Loy just got his doctorate, right? He's a doctor now. So I think it says a lot, right? From a reputational standpoint, you would want to be very successful in the kinds of businesses that you set up, especially if you have that kind of title, and also for the fact that you are associating yourself with the powerhouses in this space, which is Vitalik. So, and you know Vitalik is very picky about the projects that he represents. So for now, he's into Omise Go as an advisor and Kyber Network. Everything else, I think a while back, he was kind of associated with Humanic. But I'm not sure how's that project right now. I know that recently it got a little bit of spike, but I'm not sure what happened to Humanic. I invested in the ICO. I held it for about close to 6 months, and after that I just took a small profit from it, and I've never really followed up on that, because that is the so-called one of those banking the unbanked or bank the banked, unbank the bank or something like that. It was just based on those themes. But I'm not sure in terms of news. I haven't heard much from the team. I'm not sure what's the global presence or the general partnerships that are being formed at the moment. I'm not very sure. Okay, last but not least, we talk about the BNB coin. Same thing, guys. BNB serves the purpose of, the Binance coin serves the purpose of giving you cheap fees, and I think it also gives you a little bit of dividends as well. It has been doing very, very well, but lately it has kind of taken a hit, just like every single kind of cryptocurrency. But I think if you start picking up some BNB, that also gives you some vested interest to trade cheaply, because you have some you definitely have cheaper you have cheaper trading fees. And last but not least, when you buy the BNB coin, you also get to have some upside when the overall exchanges do well. But for China, I think they are kind of cutting off the access to centralized exchanges. I'm not sure whether it's going to be cutting off access to, like, for example, Bittrex, Binance, all these exchanges, right? I'm not very, very sure. Right now, there seems to be no news. I'm not creating FUD. I really heard it from the ground itself. But it's just a matter of execution. If it hasn't happened, it hasn't happened. But when the dump comes, it will come. So like I said, ladder in your orders, guys. Don't be too aggressive, but don't be too fearful and sit at the sidelines and do nothing. Because when you do nothing, you're not going to be able to enjoy the upside when it does happen. Don't try to catch the bottom, because no one is a genius enough to catch the bottom anyway. I ain't going to call the bottom. I'm just going to get invested, because I definitely see the advantages right now, being that it's 40% cheaper. I'm definitely going to put some money back in, right? Because I told you I cashed out, right? And I was sitting at the sidelines. I didn't know what was going to happen. And I definitely would want to re-enter this market because it's cheap. It's cheap from that perspective, being that it's a 40% discount. So I'm definitely going to be sticking to my strategy, because like I said, I'm into quantum, I'm into Kyber Network. I'm only going to be focusing on quantum, Kyber Network, and maybe BTC. That means, I'm going to strategize and stack this and see what I can do and how I end off in 2018. So without taking up too much of your time, it's already 38 minutes. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you guys start making the right decisions, start rebuilding your portfolio with solid, fundamentally sound cryptocurrencies, start investing in the team, right? You're investing in the team that can deliver the technology of tomorrow. All right, without further ado, God bless and take care, guys.